Hello, friends, and thank you as always for visiting the Legend Sports Universe YouTube channel. Legend Sports Universe, where legends play forever. This is Game 6 of the Franchise Stars Baseball League World Series for Year 1 of the FSBL. The series returns to Oakland after the Giants' dramatic walk-off win in Game 5. Down 4-1, Willie Mays hits a two-run shot off Rube Waddell in the 6th. Melott ties it off the first pitch from Raleigh Fingers in the bottom of the 9th. Freddie Lindstrom follows it up with a walk-off single to bring in the winning run to get us to this point. The A's are still in the driver's seat, make no mistake. They're up 3-2 in the series. But the Giants have to feel pretty good about themselves. The home run from Melott, who had been ice cold, and now they've gotten to Raleigh Fingers, who has blown 2 of his last 3 save opportunities after leading the league during the regular season and converting his first 4 of the postseason. The A's will turn to Lefty Grove, 1-1 in 4 starts. 2.54 ERA in the postseason. Grove threw a complete Game 6 hitter in the 5-1 Game 2 win. He was hit hard at times in that game, but managed to navigate it well, get through, and go the distance. Joe McGinnity will go for the Giants. We'll get to him in a bit. Alvin Dark will step in for the Giants to lead things off here from Oakland. Game 6 with the first pitch. We're underway. Fork ball from Grove. Misses. They call it low and outside. Alvin Dark, a terrific game in Game 5. 3 for 4 with a home run. He hit a leadoff homer in the first. Also made a terrific defensive play at short to save a run late in that game that ended up proving to be very, very big. Grove is behind him 2-0 here. There's a shot fouled off to the right-hand side. Bernard Strom, Beatles eternally join me. Methadone for Life is here as well. Thank you so much, guys. Greatly appreciate you checking in. If you are watching and were not part of it, go check out Beatles' terrific broadcast just moments ago before this one went on. The all-time Red Sox and Orioles doing battle there. Here's the Giants lineup for the day. Dark, Thompson, and Mays. Ott, Posey, and McCovey. Bobby Thompson, Freddie Lindstrom, Gary Matthews round things off for the Giants. So one down, here's Robbie Thompson. Thompson batting .219. Slow curve falls in. Thompson's defense has been spectacular in the postseason. And Jeff Kent has not swung an overly hot bat, so the Giants have been opting for Thompson's defense a little more frequently than you might think. He grounds to short here. Campaneris throws him out, and there's 2 away here in the top of the first. Four a.m. comes early there, Hugh. I get it, man. I get it. All good. I appreciate you tuning in for whatever you can. Nathaniel Lentz is here. How are you, Nathaniel? Good to see you. Willie Mays stepping in. Mays trying almost single-handedly, it's felt at times, to carry the Giants to the finish line here. Mays, 2 home runs in the losing effort in Game 4, then hit the 2-run home run off Waddell in Game 5 that started the Giants' comeback. Fastball there misses up high. The count is 1-1. Clee Baseball Fan is here. Thank you for coming on in. Tim Ken Castro joined us as well. Tex Ags is here. We got a great crowd of baseball fans. Greatly appreciative here, guys. This has been a terrific series. Very, very fortunate from a broadcast standpoint. Mays lifts this one to left. Henderson's under it. Puts it away, and the side is retired. So the Giants are turned aside here in the first. The A's come up. Henderson, Walker, and Fox due up for Oakland. They'll face Joe McGinnity in the bottom of the first. So here's McGinnity, 2-0 in 3 starts. His game in this series, he pitched the first win for the Giants, the Game 3 victory. The Giants pounced on Catfish Hunter, knocking him out in the first. And McGinnity, not with his best stuff, but he battled through 7 innings, allowed 4 runs, but they were able to hold on for the 7-5 victory. He'll face Ricky Henderson here, fastball in there for a called strike. McGinnity on short rest. That's how the Giants have tried to do it. They've now run Hubble, Keefe, and now McGinnity in succession on 3 days rest. If this game goes to a Game 7, I'm not sure how the Giants are going to handle it. Carl Hubble has been knocked around in both starts in this series. Don't know if you're bringing him back on 3 days rest a second time, given how badly the last time went. Henderson grounds to first. McCovey flips it to McGinnity. Close play at first, but Henderson is out. There's one away. Here's your A's lineup. Henderson, Tilly Walker, and Jimmy Fox. McGuire, Frank Baker, and Reggie Jackson. Bert Campaneris, Marcus Semien, and Wally Shang. Henderson looked like he came up hobbling a little bit there. That may have been more frustration than any kind of an injury. Fastball from McGinnity, misses down low to Tilly Walker. Walker has been exceptional in the playoffs. 325. He's got that OPS up over 1,000 now. And he's hit 4 home runs. Walker's going to play the rest of this out. Bill North, injured in Game 4. Diving back into first base on a pickoff attempt. He jammed his shoulder. He's listed as day-to-day. They could probably use him as a pinch runner if they need to. Ground ball to short. Dark has it. Comes up throwing. Low throw. McCovey makes the grab. And there's 2 away. Tex, I saw a lot of people think that you have to put in a little bit of work, but I'm meticulous about this stuff. I've done ratings and stuff for different games for 20 plus years, and so I've got a system in place that works and lets me get realistic results in this game. The show is a terrific, terrific game. To get it to be a true sim, you've got to put in a bit of legwork to it, but it is absolutely doable, and the rewards pay off very, very nicely. Fox pops this one at foul ground. That's a long run from McCovey, who lays out. Terrific effort from Stretch, but it's just out of his reach, and Fox stays alive. The count's 1-1. Curveball to Fox, misses inside. After a cold American League Championship Series, Fox has had a nice series here in the World Series. Everything Fox has hit has been hard. 2-2 the count. Changeup misses down and in. Count goes full. Mark McGuire looms on deck. Him and Fox about as formidable as a 3-4 as you can imagine. McGinnity deals, pulls the string on it. Fox out in front. McGinnity fans him to retire the side. So it's a scoreless first for both innings. We head to the top of the second. Giants and A's, scoreless, here in Game 6. Mel Ott stepping in. Ott batting .220 in the playoffs. He had been ice cold until that blast last night. Raleigh Fingers coming in. The A's were 3 outs away from a world championship. Mel Ott greets Fingers on the first pitch with an absolute laser beam of a home run to tie the game before the Giants walked it off later that inning. Curveball, called a strike on the outside corner. It's 1-1. Dwayne, welcome, sir. Always glad to see you. Tex, I'm going to do a video because it's more about getting the ratings right and stuff like that, and that's kind of my specialty. Ratings and player evaluation and stuff like that. I'm going to kind of walk through that because a few other people have asked too about my methodology and whatever. Once this season is over, it's going to take me about 3 weeks to get year 2 set up, creating the draftees and all that kind of stuff. So that video is a video that I'll create to kind of walk people through my process a bit, how I go about things, and then now obviously if anybody else wants to do kind of stuff, they can at least use that as a guideline. You know, we can all have different opinions on player evaluation and whatever, but at least I can kind of give us a base, and then people can do what they want with it from there. Fastball from Grove, he fans Ott, there's one away. Here's Buster Posey. Fastball just off the outside corner. Posey has been exceptional, and he kind of gets lost behind Ott and Mays and the talk about them, McCovey as well. But Posey is now batting .358 in this postseason. Fastball there up and away. Posey fouls it off. Count goes to 1-1. Grove rocks and fires. Posey fouls another one off. One and two the count. Grove into the full windup, deals, misses down and in with the fastball. Grove looks like he might be overthrowing a little bit at this moment. Kind of trying to ride the home crowd momentum and obviously the momentum of a potential clincher. Comes in on the hands. Posey fouls it back. Count will remain 2-2. Breaking ball there. That was not where Grove wanted that pitch. He got away with one. That one hung up a bit and was out over the plate. Posey dribbles it foul. Shang sets up inside. That one's down low. Posey fights it off, dribbles it outside the first base line, and keeps the at-bat alive. Good battle here between Grove and Posey. Curveball misses outside. Willie McCovey waits on deck. Giants decked out in their alternate blacks, the same uniform they wore in the Game 5 win at home. Now it's a matter of superstition. Shang sets up inside again. Fastball from Grove and Buster Posey. Deep drive to left center field. That ball is out of here. Home run Buster Posey, and the Giants jump out on top here in Game 6. The Buster Posey home run gives the Giants a 1-0 lead. Posey all over that. Terrific at bat from Buster Posey. Fouled off, I believe it was 4 pitches. Grove tried to come inside him again, and Posey launches it. So the Giants strike first here in Game 6. Here's Willie McCovey. McCovey batting .300 in the playoffs. 4 home runs, 6 RBIs. McCovey has also played a terrific first base throughout this postseason. Fastball from Grove misses down low. Breaking ball misses inside. Bernard, I appreciate that a lot, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, I care about it, and my thing is creating a league like this in the fashion that I do. Like, I want this to go on for like 20 plus seasons, so I may as well put the legwork in at the start to get it right the way I want it. There's a lot of people who kind of, and I never like trashing other people's roster work or anything like that, but people are in a rush to get it out. And they want the likes, and they want the hits and the downloads, and look how popular my set is and whatever like that. And I don't get caught up in that. I'm kind of creating this for my use. As that one is popped up, Semyon puts it away for out number 2. And if other people want to download it and use it, I mean, that's obviously great. I welcome that. I invite it. I'm flattered by that. But, it's just I want to get the project right to make it the way that I want it, and so that it has staying power and longevity. Because that's the fun of this for me. So I appreciate your compliment very much. Delivery there from Grove. Misses up high. 1-0 here to Bobby Thompson. That's a great note, Beatles. And I wasn't even thinking of that. The all by John McGraw. I so wish this game let you customize managers and tendencies and stuff like that for each team. I would love to have each team have their manager's personality and stuff like that. Back when I did my projects for Out of the Park, I was able to edit each manager based on their real life tendencies and stuff like that. And it made such a difference to me as far as like feeling like teams had that personality and that characteristic. It seems like something that the show can probably add down the line. That's another one of those things they're probably holding in their back pocket till they can't think of another feature to add, and then they'll go and they'll pull that out and then call it an upgrade. Ground ball down to third. Baker throws Thompson out, and the side is retired. But Buster Posey launches one into orbit here in Oakland. We head to the bottom of the second. Giants strike first. It's 1-0 San Francisco. Well, Tex, what I do is I keep on playing this one. I don't have the show 23 for exactly that reason. But this game does everything that I need it to do. I mean, there are things, obviously, there are little touch-ups that I wish I could add, but I can work around it, or I can just accept it, like the manager tendencies thing. I'd love it, but I can accept it not being in the game. And I won't. This is 22. By the time 23 came out, I was 1,000 players deep into creating guys for this project. So I wasn't going to go and scrap that and start it for 23. So I don't even have 23 yet, and I probably won't get another version of the show unless they add a few things. Custom leagues, if I could create a custom 16-team league, that would probably get me to buy a new version of it. Or if they brought back year-over-year saves. But those are really the two big things that I can think of that would make me buy a new game. Other than that, I'm not really sure I have any reason to, honestly. Change up there from McGinnity. McGuire out in front. He fans him. Second strikeout for Iron Joe. Here to start off the second inning. Here's Frank Baker. Baker has been terrific. 352 in the playoffs. He's gone deep 3 times as well. 10 RBIs. You see that 1056 OPS. Baker has also played a really nice third base. He's had a couple of terrific defensive plays here for Oakland. Fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. 32 regular season homers for Baker. If you're wondering about that, the way I rate older players is they're brought into kind of a modern environment, so relative to how they were. So Frank Baker was leading the league in home runs back when he played, but it was dead ball, so he was leading with 9, 10, 12 homers, I think. I think he led 3 or 4 straight years. He grounds out there to McCovey with McGinnity covering for 2 away. To make Baker a 10 home run hitter in this context would be severely downgrading where he ranks on the pantheon of players in history. So I kind of get them onto the same playing field. A big help from that is a thing called Davenport translations that I've mentioned on a few of these broadcasts that a guy, Clay Davenport from Baseball Prospectus and Fangraphs and Saber and a whole bunch of other stuff developed years ago. And I use that as a kind of a basis where he gets everybody's stats onto the same kind of modern leaning playing field. And for player evaluation, it helps greatly. So everybody's kind of rated relative to their era, and that lets players be more evaluated relative to each other properly. Comes inside on Jackson. Reggie swings and misses, and you're getting a little bit of a feeling here that the Giants have taken momentum. Hard to say that when they are trailing and facing elimination. But right now, the Giants seem like the team that's feeling it a little bit. The A's seem like they're scuffling a bit. Top of the third, Grove to face Freddie Lindstrom. Lindstrom with the walk-off single in Game 5 that got us to this point. Curveball from Grove down in the dirt. Drummer Boy here in Oakland at it once again. Forkball misses inside. I think they should send the Drummer Boy to Las Vegas and the team can stay in Oakland. Curveball misses up high. It's 3-0. The Sarge, Gary Matthews, waits on deck. Again, if you're also new to this project, somebody like Tex may not have seen what I do here before. So you may be wondering, Gary Matthews, what's Gary Matthews doing on an all-time Giants team when there's other better players? There's a shot out there to the left. Henderson pulls it in. The purpose of the Franchise Stars Baseball League, each franchise has a 100-player master pool. This Matthews steps in here. 40 players from that 100-player master list were chosen at random in the spreadsheet to be part of year one. The remaining 60 guys will all enter down the line, 4 at a time, in each rookie draft. So all those guys will eventually be in the league. So like Barry Bonds is going to be here. He's just not here yet, Babe Ruth, etc. It just kind of helps me set it up for longevity. It also helps me eliminate the situation where good players just kind of get stuck in an all-time setting behind other all-time great players and never see the light of day, which defeats the purpose of an all-time project to me. Matthews puts it down the left field line. That's rope, but Jack Henderson gets there quickly, gets it in. It's a one-out single for Gary Matthews. Sorry, my son just got home, so saying hello to him. Turn the mic off for a moment. So here's Alvin Dark. Matthews on first after the one-out single. Forkball down low. It's chopped off. That's a great addition, Tex. That's a great addition to 23. But there are guys who've created Negro Leaguers. As this shot down the line, Jackson gives chase, cuts it off, falls in for a base hit. Matthews goes first to third. And the Giants threatening again here against Lefty Grove in the top of the third. Alvin Dark continues to swing the hot bat, goes the other way. That ball almost gets past Reggie. That gets past Reggie and a run comes home to score. So now it's runners at the corners for Robbie Thompson. One out here in the third, and Willie Mays looms on deck. Giants could put something big together here. The crowd here in Oakland trying to urge Lefty Grove through this. Thompson turns the heater around, but foul. One and one the count. This is a huge at-bat for Grove, especially with Mays waiting. Fastball misses up high. 2-1 the count. Grove is fighting for it a little bit right now. His command has not been great to this point. There's a shot down to third. Baker has it, throws to second. Of throw pulls Semien off the bag. And everybody's safe. Baker's throw, that's going to be a throwing error on Frank Baker, of course, because I praised his defense not long ago. They got the double play ball they needed, and they end up with nobody. The run scores, and it's 2-0 Giants with Willie Mays at the plate. Hot smash right at Baker. He makes the play. The throw pulls Semien off the bag. And as Beatles says, That is a huge gaffe, and it absolutely is. Popped up outside third. Baker's underneath it. Mays is retired, and that's a huge one. So 2 down, Mel Ott will step in. Ott 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. Nathaniel asks if the A's are awake or sleeping. I think we're going to find out. Ott may put them to sleep here. Fastball on the corner for strike 1. Ott, as we mentioned, the tying home run off Raleigh fingers in the 9th inning of Game 5. Curveball there from Grove, in there for a strike. He's ahead of Ott 0-2. Crowd in Oakland back on their feet. Grove takes a peek at second. Goes to the curveball away. Ott takes it. It's 1-2. Pulls the string on it. Fork ball from Grove. That's probably the best pitch he's thrown as of yet. He strikes out Ott after getting Mays to pop up. Giants get a run home on the Baker error, but that could have been a lot worse. We head to the bottom of the third. Giants 2, A's nothing. Here's Bert Campaneris. Campaneris, .306 average in the postseason. First pitch from McGinnity misses down low. Campaneris squares. Lindstrom playing for the bunt, though. Charges, throws to first, and he gets him. There's one away. Campaneris bunted for a hit successfully yesterday. Tries it again here, but Lindstrom is all over it. Here's Marcus Semien. Semien 208 in the playoffs. Hit what appeared like it was going to be a huge 2-run homer in Game 5. That gave the A's a 4-1 lead before things went sideways for them. Pulls that first pitch from McGinnity foul. If this goes to a Game 7, the A's will send Catfish Hunter back out there, despite getting blitzed in his last outing. Hunter had been exceptional in his 2 starts before that. Ground ball down to third. No, it's a low liner. Lindstrom gets it before it hits the ground. Semien hits that one on the screws, and he's turned aside for the second out here in the bottom of the third. In steps Wally Shang. Shang batting .245. First pitch heater misses up high from McGinnity. It's 1-0. Great crowd in here watching tonight, guys. Greatly appreciate that, especially you guys participating in the chat. Always love the conversations during the game. Shang hits a weak grounder to second. Thompson throws him out, and the side is retired. So we're a third of the way through here. World Series Game 6. A's trying to clinch. Giants trying to stay alive. San Francisco leads it 2-0. Here's Buster Posey. Posey blasted a shot his first time up. Took Grove deep to culminate a terrific at-bat, and he scalds another one. This one's into the gap. Going to the wall. Henderson gets there. Henderson pulls up. He lets Walker take it. Get the throw in. But Posey is on with a leadoff double to open up the fourth. So Buster Posey continues to rake. Henderson yielding way there to Tilly Walker to get that ball back in. Not that Posey was going for a triple anyway. But a leadoff double, runner in scoring position again. Here's Willie McCovey. Fastball misses outside. Bernard notes we may be going 7. Beatles notes Posey is a beast. A's not looking sharp tonight. No, they do not. Well, if you remember, and I think it was you, Beatles, who mentioned in Grove's last start in this series, they were making some hard contact on him, and he didn't have great command, and he still somehow got through that game with a complete game, allowing 1 run. And once again, he just does not seem to really be feeling it here. He's trying to gut his way through it. The Baker error obviously hurt him significantly. Yeah, Tex, yeah, they're on AI. I don't play any of this. This is just I create the league and then I let it play out and we see what happens. McCovey ground ball down to Fox, will take it himself. Posey will move up to third. And there's 1 away here in the top of the 4th. So here's Bobby Thompson. Thompson grounded out his first time up. Fastball misses up and in. One and 0 the count as Grove works here. Breaking ball. That's a close pitch, but just missing. And what Beatles just referring to in chat, just a little bit too fine. When he got into the good groove there, I guess that was game 2. When he got into the good groove in like the middle innings of that game, he was using his fastball a lot more than he is here. He's throwing a ton of breaking stuff, and he's just missing with all of it. There's the heater up high, and Thompson swings and misses. 2-2 the count to Thompson as Todd B checks in with us. How are you, Todd? Always good to see you, sir. Freddie Lindstrom waits on deck. Buster Posey is on third. Thompson puts this one out to right. Jackson retreats on it, tracks it down. That's a nice play by Reggie, but it will bring Posey in, and it's 3-0 Giants. Thompson hit that well. That is about as good a defensive play as you're going to see Reggie Jackson make. Thompson hit that ball on a rope. But the Giants are up 3-0 here. Bases are cleared now, 2 outs. Here's Freddie Lindstrom. Fastball in there for a called strike. Grove into the windup. There's the forkball. And that pitch is on. He is really hard to deal with. He hasn't thrown many of them in this game, but when he's thrown them, they've worked. He's ahead. Lindstrom 0-2 here. Another one. That's shot out into right. Jackson puts it away, and the side is retired. But the Giants have put up a run in each of the first 3 innings, or I should say in 3 of the first 4 innings. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Giants 3, the A's nothing, looking for their first hit. They'll come with the top of the order, starting with Ricky Henderson. Henderson grounded out his first time up. Joe McGinnity looking sharp so far for San Francisco. Henderson looks bunt there. Fly ball out to center. Mays is underneath it. He's camped out, puts it away, and there's 1 down. So far, McGinnity getting a lot of weak contact. Weak grounders, lazy fly balls. Here's Tilly Walker. He's 0 for 1. He grounded out his first time up. There's a shot the other way. That's a base hit for Tilly Walker. So the A's have their first hit of the ball game, an opposite field single from Walker, and that'll bring up Jimmy Fox. Good piece of hitting from Walker, who has been exceptional in this postseason. Fox is 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. There's a high fly ball to left. Don't think he got all of it. Thompson's underneath it. Puts it away for out number 2. Walker was going on the pitch. He has to retreat back to first. Makes it without any problem. So here's Mark McGwire. McGwire 0 for 1. Struck out back in the second. First pitch from McGinnity. Curveball misses down low. Fastball. That one misses low as well. Frank Baker waits in the on-deck circle. He would love an opportunity to atone for that error with 2 runners on. McGwire down the right field line. It's going to hang up. Ott gets underneath it, puts it away, and the side is retired. Crowd in Oakland voicing a bit of displeasure. We head to the top of the 5th. McGinnity looks sharp. Matthews, Dark, and Thompson coming up for the Giants. They lead it 3-0. This is the kind of the situation where if the Giants can force the Game 7, it feels like the Giants will have all the momentum. The A's were 3 outs away from a championship. Now they are standing, looking down the barrel of a Game 7. Grove into the full windup and delivers. Curveball misses down low. Another curveball. That one swung on and missed by Matthews. Count goes to 1-2. Forkball stays outside. Matthews doesn't fish. Nice curveball there. Matthews gets out in front of it, though. He hit it hard, but foul. Shanks signals he wants Grove to come upstairs with the cheddar, and he does, and he blows Matthews away for the strikeout. 3rd strikeout for Grove, first out here in the 5th. There you'll see the pitch approach. Grove mixed it up well there. We'll see if he can get himself into a little bit of a groove here. Forkball on the inside corner for strike 1. Well, I mean, the A's won the most games in the league. I mean, they won 111 games during the regular season. But during this postseason, their offense has kind of... They weren't great against the Angels, and they weren't even great to start off that series against Cleveland. And then they picked it up, and they carried that into the start of this series against the Giants. But right now, McGinnity looks like he's kind of locking them up. We'll see, though. They can strike in a hurry. 2 down. Here's Robbie Thompson. Thompson 0 for 2. He grounded out his last time up. Curveball in there for strike 1. Again, these were the 2 winningest teams in year 1 of the FSBL. The A's won 111 games. The Giants won 109. Fastball misses down and in. If you are enjoying the broadcast, kindly bang that like button, and if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, kindly consider doing so. Lots of good stuff, not just baseball. We'll be getting back into football and then hockey and then basketball. In addition to baseball, baseball will be the constant, as James Earl Jones said, in Field of Dreams. Movie I haven't seen in a long time. It's about time I watched Field of Dreams again. 2-2 the count to Thompson. He fouls off the heater. Two and two count. Another fastball from Grove, and he blows Thompson away. So it's taken a bit, but it seems like Grove is starting to figure it out. Now we'll see if the A's offense can figure out McGinnity. We head to the bottom of the fifth. We're midway through here in Oakland. San Francisco leads Game 6, 3-0. That's right. Don't argue with Darth Vader. So Frank Baker will lead things off here for the A's in the bottom of the fifth. Get the feeling the A's need to get a run on the board here. Just something to give them a sense of momentum. Because right now, everything about this game is tilted towards the Giants. Low away fastball there. Baker fouls it off. It's 1-1. Against Baker on a perfect double play ball in the second. Made a wide throw. Pulled Marcus Semien off the bag at second. That led to the run that inning. He would love to atone for that here. Fastball fouled off. Count goes to 2-2. McGinnity doing a great job of keeping the ball down. He is not letting the A's elevate anything with any kind of power. Baker fouls that one off. That one hooks inside. Weekly hit down to McCovey. He'll take it to the bag himself. Baker is retired. There's one down. That's the weak contact we've been talking about. McGinnity just doing a terrific job so far. Here's Reggie Jackson. Jackson struck out back in the second. Fouls that one off. It's 0-1. 8 Men Out is another movie I haven't seen in a while. I'll binge baseball movies at some point soon during my little hiatus here. The shift, that would have been a ground ball to short. Instead, it goes down as a ground ball to third. Jackson is thrown out, and there's 2 away. The A's bats look bad, but certainly a good portion of that credit has to go to McGinnity, who is throwing a gem to this point. Here's Bert Campaneris. He's 0 for 1. Campaneris once again thinks about the bunt. Here he swings away. It's a fly ball to center. Mays coming on. He'll get there. Puts it away on the lazy fly ball, and then the side is retired again. We head to the top of the 6th of Game 6. Giants trying to force a Game 7. They lead it 3-0. Here's Willie Mays. Mays is 0 for 2. This is a huge inning for Grove. Working the heart of the order. Bullpen action is going for Oakland. I couldn't see who it was out there. Grove looked sharper in that last inning. Going to the fastball more. Mays fly ball to center. Tilly Walker playing him out in the Pacific somewhere, but comes on and puts it away for out number 1. Here's Mel Ott. Ott has been fanned twice. 4 for 20 in the series now. But arguably the biggest hit of the series to this point. at least for the Giants. He hits this one on a rope to right. It's off the wall. Jackson plays it. In San Francisco, that's a home run. That was practically identical to the home run off Fingers in Game 5. The taller scoreboard above the wall here in right in Oakland, the only thing that prevents this from being a 4-0 game. So Ott is on with the 1-out double. And that'll bring up Buster Posey. And Posey is just seeing the ball perfectly. Homered his first time up. Doubled his second time up. Some weird camera work going on there. Drunk guy in the booth, we apologize. Shot from Grove. Ground ball in the hole. Picked by Campaneris out on the grass. Nice play by Burt. Throws him out. Fox digs it out. And there's two down here in the top of the 6th. So here's Willie McCovey. McCovey 0 for 2. Popped out and grounded out. McCovey now 5 for 19 in the series. Curveball misses away. We'll throw Roy Hobbs into one of the draftees in this league down the line, too. Breaking ball blocked by Shang. Runner goes. Throw down to third, not in time. And Mel Ott takes third base. It's probably going to be ruled a wild pitch, and it is. We'll throw Hobbs in with the Negro Leaguers. .2-0 count to McCovey. Fastball right down the gut. 2-1. Grove sighs deeply. Goes to the forkball. McCovey doesn't offer at it. And it's 3-1. Bobby Thompson waits on deck. Crowd here in Oakland waking up. McCovey fouls it off. Fastball misses down low. Ball 4. It's a free pass to McCovey. And now it's 1st and 3rd. There are still 2 outs. Bobby Thompson will step in, but he's not going to face Grove. So Lefty Grove's day is done. Not terrible by any means, but Grove was hoping for better. Now he's going to hope the bullpen can get him off the hook here in this inning. Jack Coombs will step in. Oh, sorry about that. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. Not really sure. I hit a wrong button on the controller there. So Coombs will face Thompson here. Curveball misses away. There's the pitch. Curveball misses outside. It's Press World's Worst Gamer notes. If you don't score any runs, you can't win, so it doesn't really matter how Grove pitched, which is true. Steve Tate has popped in as well as World's Worst Gamer. Good to see both of you. At the best scenes in The Natural are great, but I agree with the corny thing of that. It's not up in my top list of baseball movies, to be honest. Pitch there from Coombs, fouled off. Count goes to 2-2. Big pitch coming here from Coombs, who's brought into a tough spot. Curveball. fouled off. Two and two the count as Coombs works to Bobby Thompson. Breaking ball, Thompson down the right field line, slicing, looping, and foul. Nervous energy throughout the building here in Oakland. Coombs down in the dirt. Shang blocks it. Runner will go to second. Shang throws down. That's an ill-advised throw. He had no chance of getting him. It's a wild pitch from Coombs. The runner on third holds. That does eliminate the force. Full count here to Thompson. High fastball. It's ball 4. So Thompson draws the walk. Coombs loses him. The bases are stacked for Freddie Lindstrom. Lindstrom is 0 for 2. Fly out in the lineout. Hit here from Lindstrom could put an exclamation point on this one for the Giants. Curveball from Coombs misses away. It's 1-0. Coombs working from the set. Lindstrom waggles the bat slightly. Coombs delivers. Fastball grounded foul. Coombs from the set once again. Breaking ball, another one in the dirt. Shang blocks it. Living a bit dangerously with that breaking ball is Coombs. Here's the pitch. Fastball off the plate. It's 3-1. So now Jack Coombs, there is no room at the inn here as he works to Lindstrom. Lindstrom should get something to hit here. We'll see what he does with it. Pitch from Coombs. Fastball misses inside, ball 4. He forces in a run. Ott comes across the plate, and it's 4-0 Giants. So Coombs walks in the run, and now here's Gary Matthews. Matthews 1 for 2. He's singled and scored. Breaking ball, Matthews back to the mound. Coombs has it. Not sure why he threw home there, but he does. They get the play at the plate for the force, and the side is retired. So the Sarge bounces back to the mound. The Giants tack on a run. Bottom of the 6th here from Oakland. Joe McGinnity has kept them completely at bay. He's only allowed 1 hit to this point. Curveball to Semien, misses outside. It's 1-0. Low one, lined one hopper to Robbie Thompson. Throws Semien out, and there's 1 away. Just a sterling effort so far by Iron Joe McGinnity. Here's Wally Shang. Shang, like seemingly everybody else, has grounded out. There have been a couple of lazy fly balls, a couple of strikeouts. But McGinnity has basically worked from mid-thigh down on everybody throughout this game. Shang sends this one out to left. It's slicing away. Foul. And the count goes to 1-1. Shang flies this one to center. Mays ranging over. He gets there. Puts it away for out number 2. It's funny, I was listening, Beatles, to one of your broadcasts, and you were talking about the outfielders stopping on a dime. And I think that was something with a little bit more with the older games of the show, maybe even like 20, because that is something that I noticed too. And it still happens occasionally, but it happens a lot less with 22. I find with 22, when they just make a catch, it doesn't happen much. Occasionally it will happen if they're going to catch and then set to throw. It sometimes can be a little bit too quick, but they did a lot with that momentum thing with the outfielders. You'll see them catching balls on the run and still taking some strides after they make the play. Because in the earlier versions of the game, yes, that whole stop on the dime thing was big. So there's Henderson, grounds one into center. It's a 2-out single for Ricky. And now we'll see if Henderson tries to steal, get himself into scoring position, and give Oakland a chance to try to get something across here in the bottom of the 6th. Here's Tilly Walker. Walker is 1 for 2. He's singled in the 4th. Up until that Henderson single, that was the only hit for the A's. Stomper doing his shtick. The crowd does not seem to want any part of it at this point. McGinnity takes a peek at Ricky. Throws a curveball and misses outside for ball 1. They go for the pitch out. Ricky dives back into first. Posey looks, but doesn't throw. Henderson just looking for an excuse to get his uniform dirty. Here's the pitch. Fly ball from Walker. He hits it well. Mays is going back. He's at the wall. Puts it away, and the side is retired. Mays got to the spot in a hurry. Looked like he might have to leap to try to grab it, but it falls harmlessly into his glove, and the A's are turned aside. Top of the 7th, Alvin Dark comes in to face Jack Coombs. Fly ball to right. Jackson is there, puts it away, and there's 1 down. Bingo Long, that's bringing it way back. I had done a set, I think it was for the show actually, back 17, 18, something like that. That was like movie characters and like the real names of like superheroes and supervillains and stuff like that, and threw them all into one pool along with just fictional players and played that out, and I actually had a blast with it. It was a lot of fun. There's a guy, I think he just goes by Bacon, who creates, it's a completely fictional, it's the real teams, but it's completely fictional players, top to bottom, all throughout the minors and stuff like that. And a lot of people use it and have a lot of fun with it. He's done that roster for the show for years. Fly ball here to left, hooking. Looks like it might hit a bullpen catcher, but it ends up in the seats. Curveball away. Thompson doesn't bite. So the count goes to 2-2. Fastball in on the hands, popped up. Fox underneath it. Puts it away, and there's 2 down. If this goes to a Game 7, that broadcast will probably be early tomorrow, sometime tomorrow afternoon. Either early afternoon, like noon, or late afternoon, like 5. There's Mays. Deep drive into the gap. Long run for Tilly Walker. He gets there, puts it away, and the side is retired. So it's 7th inning stretch time in Oakland. We'll see if the old take me out to the ball game can wake up this A's offense. Huge inning coming here from McGinnity as he faces the heart of the A's order, starting with Jimmy Fox. Fox is 0 for 2. He's struck out and flown out. McGinnity is at 59 pitches through 6. Fox hits a tracer to center, but Mays gets over and puts it away. Fox hit that one hard, but Mays gets there. That phrase, Mays gets there, has been uttered a lot in this postseason and during the regular season as well. One down, here's Mark McGwire. Curveball misses down low. Yanks that one down to third. Lindstrom has it, has his time, throws McGwire out, and there's two away here in the bottom of the seventh. And if you are the A's, I think it is hard to not have the thought in your head. You were 3 outs away from winning this series, winning the championship. And it's got to be kind of rattling around your head now if you miss the opportunity. Baker grounds out to Lindstrom, throws him out, and Joe McGinnity continues to cruise. I don't remember the last batter McGinnity struck out. We head to the top of the eighth, though. The Giants shutting out the A's. It's 4-0. Here's Mel Ott, 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored. I like the Cisco and Ebert portion of our chat here going on. Curveball from Coombs misses down low. Ott fouls it back. Counts 1-1. Breaking ball down in the dirt. Also, Beatles, I did a little check. They do not have Ott's stance in the game. It doesn't appear any longer. They used to. It used to be a legend stance that was in the game, and they no longer do. I don't know why. That's not something that would require licensing or anything. I'm not sure why it's not in the game. But Mel Ott's stance is no longer in it. I actually messed with it a little bit. You can create custom stances. I might mess with it. But the biggest thing about Ott's stance, it wasn't just the stance. It was the follow-through. It was the whole swing motion. So it wasn't just the way that he stood before he swung. It was, the drop of the bat head and the way he loaded up and triggered and stuff like that. So it wasn't just how he stood before he swung. It was the swing itself. And that's just... I'm not sure I'll be able to replicate that, but before next season, I will give it a chance at creating a good Ott stance if I have the capability to do it. Because it's like the guy swung like a beer league softball player, and he was like he was just a phenomenal hitter. I don't know, like you look at him, it's like this guy is leaving so many holes in his swing. And he put 511 balls over the wall instead. Fastball up high. Fly ball to Walker. Puts it away, and there's 2 down. So here's Willie McCovey. Yeah, played his first, he was like 17 when he first came up or something stupid like that. 17 or 18, I think. McCovey fouls that one off to the left-hand side. One offering, fastball up high. McCovey takes it. Two 2-1 pitch. That's a heater that's in there. Two-two pitch. Fastball blows McCovey away. Strike 3. And the side is retired. But as World's Worst Gamer noted before, doesn't matter how many runs the other team has when you have none. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Giants 4, A's nothing. Reggie Jackson will lead things off. The A's are playing like a nervous team at the plate. Joe McGinnity has thrown 63 pitches through 7 innings. That is 9 pitches an inning. Red Ames and Madison Bumgarner are throwing in the bullpen, and the only question is why. McGinnity can do this all day. Fastball swung on and missed. It's 1-1. This is just a clutch performance from McGinnity. There's no other way to put it. Curveball misses down low. It's 2-1. 3 days rest. The Giants do have an issue for Game 7, though. I'm not sure how they're going to go with that. Larry Jansen is certainly available, but Jansen was hammered in his one postseason start against the Cardinals. Didn't make it out of the third. Carl Hubble has already pitched on 3 days rest in this series, and he's been hammered twice by the A's. Jackson draws the leadoff walk. You could turn to Rue Marquardt, but Marquardt has been erratic and he's worked out of the bullpen. You probably could start him if you had to. So the Giants are going to have a decision to make. Curveball misses away. 1-1 to Campaneris. Fastball misses off the plate. Yep, that'll come. Not next year. And one of the teams to watch next year are going to be the Indians. The Indians pitching was the Indians' bugaboo this year. I mean, that they made it to the ALCS like they did was pretty incredible given that. But they add Corey Kluber and Addy Joss to that rotation next year. Shot out in the left. That's a base hit for Campaneris. So the A's have the first 2 on here in the bottom of the 8th. And things getting a little interesting here in Oakland. Here's Marcus Semien. Semien's 0 for 2. Fastball misses down low. Semien scalds this one through the hole. It's a base hit in the left. The runner comes around third. Throw comes home. Not in time. The A's have a run in. And now 3 straight hits. 3 straight base runners, I should say. Jackson walked. But 3 straight base runners for the A's here in the bottom of the 8th. And now, can McGinnity stem the tide here? Here's Wally Shang. Curveball there at the top of the zone for strike 1. Right, if you pull McGinnity, it's not because he's tired. He's certainly not tired at 76 pitches, even on 3 days rest. That is something to take into account. Shang, base hit in the right. We'll see if they wave Campaneris around, and they do. McCovey cuts it off. Campaneris scores, and it's a 4-2 ball game. Crowd waving their towels like crazy. Things have come alive here in Oakland. The bottom of the A's order coming through here, and that's going to be it for Joe McGinnity. Remember, folks, this Giants bullpen has been atrocious throughout this postseason. Hard to have asked for anything more out of McGinnity in this one. But things just got dicey really, really quickly. Here's Marv Grissom. This will only be Grissom's second outing in the postseason. Grissom was excellent during the regular season. The order has turned over. Here's Ricky Henderson. First and second, it's a 4-2 game here in Game 6. There's nobody out for the A's. First pitch to Henderson, fastball, he fouls it straight back. Beatles, I'm inclined to agree with you, and I understand the thinking of pulling him, but I don't know if you have anybody coming in out of the bullpen the way this postseason has gone with the Giants bullpen who's going to be any better than McGinnity. I mean, they were all over him. They've gotten several hits in a row. I get that. I'm still not sure. I don't try to ride him out here. But we'll see. Screwball high in the zone. It's in there. It's 1-2. Pitch there to Henderson. Out into right. Ott is there. Puts it away. Runner will tag. Here comes the throw. Run will get in safely. And now it's first and third. Here's Tilly Walker. Singled back in the fourth. He's 1 for 3. He's 4 for 17 in the series. Screwball just off the plate. If you're wondering, Grissom during the year, 2-1, a 1.29 earned run average. Count is 2-0 to Tilly Walker. Jimmy Fox waits on deck. Fastball misses down low. It's 3-0. Double X swings the weighted bat in the dugout. Fastball, Walker taking all the way. It's a called strike at the knees. 3-1. The only thing Walker can't do here is hit into a double play. Fastball in there for a strike. The count is full. Grissom gets the sign from Posey. Breaking ball swung on and missed. He strikes out Walker. 2 down. And now here comes Fox. That's a beautiful screwball from Marv Grissom. It was there, and then it wasn't. Walker swings right over the top of it. And now here we go. Marv Grissom, Jimmy Fox. First and third, tying run on first, lead run at the plate. Fox tries to hold up. They say he went at strike 1. Fox whirls the bat around. Grissom, long and lean, looks in. There's the pitch. Fastball off the plate. McGuire stands in the on-deck circle. Fastball rides inside. They call it a strike on the corner. That's a nice pitch from Grissom. 1-2 to Fox. That one was off the plate. Fox protecting. Gets a piece to stay alive. This place is rocking here in Oakland at the moment. Pitch from Grissom, breaking ball. Fox ground ball to second. Thompson goes the short way. They get the force, and Grissom gets the Giants out of the inning. Oakland plates a pair, and this ain't over yet. We head to the ninth. It's a little more dicey than it was before. Giants lead 4-2. Bobby Thompson will lead off against Jack Coombs here in the top of the ninth. Despite Fox grounding out, the mood here in Oakland has certainly changed. You could have held a funeral here a few innings ago. Beatles, I was with you. The way those first two games went, it just seemed like there was just the A's were doing everything right, and the Giants couldn't get out of their own way and couldn't get anything going. Had there been a sweep, I would not have been shocked. But now this has turned into the series that we thought it was going to be before it started. Number foul, it's 2-2. Again, Catfish Hunter will get the nod in Game 7. Swung on and missed. Down goes Thompson for out number 1. Although, I mean, you could bring Tim Hudson back on 3 days rest if you're the A's. I mean, yes, Catfish Hunter was pummeled. He was knocked out in the first, but he had been better than Hudson before that in the playoffs. So, I mean, the A's have a decision to make. And Hudson was good his last time out. So it's not that cut and dry. But I think you probably give Hunter the nod because he'll be on full rest. And because he got shelled, he didn't throw many pitches either. So the A's, I still think you probably lean towards going with Hunter there. Curveball misses away. It's 2-1. Fastball pulled down the left-hand side. Hit hard, but foul. Fastball fouled off and out of play. Yeah, I'll have to go into the rotations and kind of make it. So you have to have a couple, at least, I think it's at least 4 guys in the rotation. So like I would put Waddell in. I think the only guy who'd be off limits would be Grove. So I'd have to move Waddell into the bullpen, and then I would have to move a reliever into the rotation to take Waddell's space, in kind of list only, so that Waddell was available. There was the game, I guess it was in the Indians, Game 7 of the Indians series, where Waddell and Grove were throwing in the bullpen because I had done that. So you can do that. They'll bring him in. So I'll have to go and set up each team like that. But that's fine. That's not a problem. 1 out base runner here in the top of the ninth. Here's the Sarge, Gary Matthews. He's 1 for 3. Coombs walked in a run right after coming in, but he's been terrific since then. Matthews, grounder to third. Baker has it, throws to second, on to first. It's a 5-4-3 double play, and that ends the top of the ninth. So Jack Coombs gets his job done. Now can the A's lineup, which scored 2 in the bottom of the 8th, come up with more ninth inning magic here in the bottom of the ninth? Mark McGwire will lead things off, and he'll do it against Al Holland. Now Holland got the save. That would have been Game 3, I guess. Holland, his first 2 appearances of the postseason were back in the NLDS, and he was terrible. Mets got to him in both games. Holland wasn't used since then. Here's McGwire. First pitch to McGwire, hit well to left. Thompson is back. He's at the wall. He jumps, and it's out of here. Home run Mark McGwire, and it's a 1-run ball game. McGwire's 5th home run of the playoffs, the first pitch from Al Holland, and Mark McGwire goes yard. Steve Tate, call him for your lotto numbers. And this is a 1-run ball game. McGwire jumps all over it. High cheddar from Holland, and he does not have the gas to put that one past McGwire. Thompson made a play on it, but it's out of here, and now here's Frank Baker as the tying run. Slider misses down low. Oh boy. McGuire jumped all over that. That was a high, arcing, long, towering fly ball. Thompson gave it a leap, but out past his outstretched glove, and it's a one-run ball game. Reggie Jackson looms on deck. Reggie has not had a great postseason, but if you think back to the ALCS, huge home runs in games 3 and 4. With the A's down 2-1 in that series, Jackson won games 4 and 5 for them. Baker walks, and now here's Reggie. Baker can run a little bit too. That's also a consideration here. Holland breathes deep, takes a glance. First pitch to Jackson, misses down low. Holland looks in. Fastball misses up high. As Beatles notes, Holland is terrified. He looks it. The fact that he looks like Ron Jeremy doesn't help. I'd be terrified of him, but I digress. Fastball there, gets that one on the outside corner. Jackson has to not chase. That one's fouled off. That one was off the plate a bit. Borderline pitch there, but Holland has gotten back to 2-2. If Holland can strike out Reggie here, Holland may be able to settle himself in. Throw over to Baker. Or to McCovey to keep Baker close, I should say. 2-2 the count as Holland looks in. There's the pitch. Jackson fouls another one off. That one caught too much plate. Holland got away with one, and if you ask Reggie, he'll tell you he should have driven that ball. 2-2 the count. Up high, Jackson fights another one off. Everyone is on their feet here in Oakland. Slider from Holland freezes Jackson. That is a great pitch from Al Holland. It's gone fastball, 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 and he locks Jackson up with the inside slider, and there's one away. Here's Bert Campaneris. If you're the A's, do you contemplate sending Baker here to try to steal a base? He stole 17 bags during the regular season. Shot up the middle, and that's a base hit. It's through. Baker pulls up at second. Mays coming on like a man possessed. Baker decides not to test Willie. He'll hold at second. But Campaneris comes through with the big single, and now it's first and second, one out. The tying run is on second base. Here's Marcus Semien. Semien is 1 for 3. Fastball in there for a called strike. Al Simmons, no. Al Simmons is not here yet. Bucketfoot is still waiting. I can't even imagine this A's lineup once Simmons gets here. Good grief. Fastball at the top of the zone. Oh, 2 count as Holland works to Semien. Fastball well out of the zone. That's a waste pitch. Semien doesn't chase it. Remember, the bottom of the order sparked the 2 runs in the bottom of the 8th. Wally Shang waits on deck. Pitch from Holland. Semien up the middle. Dark has it, steps on the bag, throws to first, gets him for the double play. The Giants win it. They get out of the jam, and we're going to have a Game 7. Alvin Dark with the unassisted step on the bag, throws to first, 6-6-3 double play, and this place just got silenced. Al Holland feeling like he had it all the way. So the A's score 3 in the last 2 innings, but come up a run short. And now you can only imagine what the psyche is for both of these teams going to a Game 7. I thought the A's were going to do it. I totally did. I thought they were going to pull off that comeback. But the Giants, again, 3 outs from elimination in Game 5, have now forced a Game 7. So many variables at play to come into that matchup. Starting with who pitches. Feel free to weigh in the chat there. I'd probably end up posting a poll anyway. And we'll talk about the pitching matchups here in a minute, because I'm certainly up for people. That 79 Pirates reference has been made a couple of times in the past couple of broadcasts. That's a beautiful play by Dark, who has had a great series. Semien gets down the line well. Oh my goodness. That was a fun one. Holland gets the save. It's absolutely all hands on deck World's Worst Game. I will absolutely set it up like that. But as far as getting the start, see, that's interesting. So Beetle says start Hudson despite the 3 days of rest. Texag says start Catfish Hunter. So we're going to get out of this for a minute. Steve goes for Hunter too. Again, Hunter was great his first 2 starts of the playoffs. He basically won them the ALCS. But he was hammered his first start here. He didn't make it out of the first. If you're the Giants, I don't even know what you do if you're the Giants. I think Hunter too, and that seems to be the consensus here. So I think the A's situation is kind of settled. For the Giants, though, I don't even know who you decide to go with there. Do you go with Jansen? I mean, yes, he was knocked around in his one postseason start, but that was against the Cardinals, so that was against a different team. I think asking Marquard to come in and start. Gene, conjure up Mathewson. Well, if they could, they would for sure. Just bring him out of the woods or whatever. I mean, Marquard during the year 16-3, 3.01. Marichal was not on the team. So basically, your starting options for the Giants for Game 7 would be Jansen. Jansen was 19-4, 3.47. He got knocked out in the 3rd inning of his one postseason start against the Cardinals. You could go with Marquard as well. Marquard has struggled in the bullpen, but he could certainly start. 16-3, 3.01. I kind of think those are your options. Yeah, technically, you could go with Bumgarner, but I'm going to take him off the table because he has been shellacked all throughout the postseason. So I think you're really down to going Jansen, Marquard, or you go with Carl Hubble again on 3 days rest and hope that he finds it. Hubble 16-11, 2.94 during the regular season. Give me 2 seconds here, guys. see if I can balance this microphone. I'm hoping nothing crashes here. Let me see. Let me go bring up so we can kind of see their postseason stats. And the A's we're going to settle. The A's we're going to go with Hunter. Hunter will start the game 7 for them. For the Giants, let's take a look at the pitchers. All right, so Hubble 2-2 in the postseason, 5.81. That's from his 2 games knocked around in this series. Jansen, there he was. Jansen went 2 1/3, was hammered by the Cardinals. Marquard has only thrown 2 innings of relief, so Marquard hasn't appeared in a couple of games, so Marquard could get the start. Marquard's ratings took a ding during the season development-wise, but Marquard 16-3. He started 14 games during the regular season. I think then his ratings took a fall. They moved him into the bullpen, and they never put him back in the rotation. So, 16-3, 3.01. He's only thrown 2 innings in the bullpen, so you could go with Marquard. So there's your choices: Jansen, Marquard, or Hummel on the short rest. Steve, I appreciate that, man. That's very, that's very cool. Hey, listen, I just think it's a really cool approach that works. And it gives you the room for longevity, and again, it gives you an all-time setup where guys don't just get buried behind other great players. Like, you can get everybody involved down the line, which is the biggest reason that I'm doing it. All right, so it seems like we've kind of got a bit of a consensus here that Rube Marquard should be the guy. Again, it will be an all hands on deck kind of situation. So we'll set it up so that Jansen can come out of the pen, Hubble can come out of the pen. We basically have to then designate. We have to designate a couple of guys as unusable. Felix Rodriguez only appeared once but stunk. But I'm channeling MV here because every time I mention Felix Rodriguez, MV has seizures. So we'll probably take Felix Rodriguez off the docket, and we'll probably take Madison Bumgarner off the docket, and then we'll put. You could. I wasn't even thinking of this. You could go with Lincecum actually. Lincecum's only thrown 3 innings in the postseason. I still think you go with Marquard though. No, Amos Russi. Amos Russi is actually, if I remember right, Russi is their draft pick. Russi's joining them next year. Yeah, I think I'm remembering that correctly. All right, so we're going to go with Marquard and Catfish Hunter as the pitchers duel. We'll get the other starters. I think the problem with Ames is that Ames has pitched out of the bullpen recently, although he has only made 2 appearances. Yes, I see that. Give me 1 second, Steve, and I'll outline that. Ames. I thought Ames had thrown more out of the bullpen. He's warmed up a ton. 18 games in relief. He didn't start at all during the regular season, so I don't think I'm going to make Ames an option here. They didn't start him at all during the year just because their rotation is deep. I think Marquard's going to be the call. Marquard will get the call. We'll put the other guys in the pen. All hands on deck. He could be an opener if we get Joe Madden to come in and manage them. So now let me go back. What Steve had just asked me. The league approach on selection. So the way I did it was the 100-player pool is the top 8 guys at catcher and each of the infield positions. 20 outfielders, 25 starting pitchers, and 15 relievers. Those 15 relievers, basically to designate as a reliever, you had to pitch more than half your games in relief. And, starter, obviously, more than half your games is a starter. Actually, I think for relief, I did 60%, just because I kind of felt like it would eliminate some of those like real half and half kind of guys, who were kind of swingmen. I didn't want to end up with too many swingmen, if that makes sense. And then it's basically just ranked by WAR, but you go to the team where you rank, and this was just to balance the rosters a bit. You go to the team where you rank higher on their WAR list for the position. So, like, if like a guy like Lindor, for example, Lindor has a higher WAR with the Indians. But because the Mets have been so bad at shortstop for their history, Lindor ends up with the Mets because he ranks higher on the Mets shortstop WAR list than he ends up on the Indians shortstop WAR list because the Indians have been deeper at the position. So that's the only caveat to that. But other than that, that's how that was set up. And then for the 40 man, the random 40 man, exactly. Yeah, Speaker's another guy. Speaker will end up with if I remember right, without it in front of me, I think Speaker ends up with the Indians, even though at his Boston WAR maybe like 2 points higher or something like that. I mean, he's really close. He's really balanced between the two. But and then for the 40 man, it was two. Let me see if I remember this. Two at catcher in each of the infield positions, 8 outfielders, 12 starters, and 6 relievers, I think. I'm doing it off the top of my head. I don't remember if that adds up to 40 or not, but it's something like that. And then each season, the way I'm doing it is so the game runs its rookie draft at the end of each season from like fictional players. So I let the game draft, hopefully that it's based on need. And then from the positions that the team drafts at, I fire up the random generator again, and whoever it randomly selects for that position. So if a team drafts a fictional Pete Smith or whatever as their first round pick at third base, I'll go into that team's remaining pool of 6 third basemen, fire up the random generator again, and whoever it spits out is the third baseman who they get in their draft for that year. And it's the top 4 positional picks are from that list, and then it's one random Negro leaguer for whoever is their 5th position pick, and then the 6th and 7th round draft picks will just be bottomed out as Joe Random guys to basically be minor league roster filler. So that's kind of the process for each year. So basically, it's 5 draft picks per team that I'm going to have to overwrite, and that's what this next couple weeks, once the World Series is done, that's what those 3 weeks lag is going to be for me, is kind of overwriting those guys and then testing out a couple of things I want to check. The base running aggressiveness thing, I want to see if I can adjust how the relievers are used a little bit, by messing with some stamina ratings a little bit and stuff like that. But most of it is going to be importing the guys, doing their faces and that kind of stuff. So that's what that lag is going to be. And yes, Speaker is with Cleveland. For action, I could put a player on the team who played for most and use an average of his best 3. Right. So when I rate guys, I start everybody in the league at 22 years old, and their starting ratings are based on their average stats, and then their potential ratings. The potential rating, the one thing that I wish this game did differently, so like in Out of the Park, your potential rating is different for each thing. Like you have a walk potential, you have a strikeout potential, you have a contact, a home run power, gap power potential, etc. The show, you just have one generic potential rating, which can sometimes lead, like it won't turn a 5 home run guy into a 30 home run guy. It won't do anything like that. But it may take a guy it may improve a guy across the board, where the thing that really got him to be a higher quality player in his career was his batting average took a jump, or his power took a big jump, or something like that. So there is going to be a bit of deviation here. The way the development algorithm kind of works in the show is it's fine, but it's not the way I would ideally do it. Like, for example, Jim Edmonds. So Edmonds this season, Edmonds hit like 337 during the regular season. And Edmonds hit 300 a few times in his career, but it was always like 30 something. You know, he hit like 302, 304, 307, that kind of stuff. So when I looked at his ratings, I'm like, oh, well, making sure anytime I see somebody who's a little bit of an outlier, I try to make sure that, you know, I didn't typo something or enter a rating wrong, whatever. And with Edmonds, his contact development against lefties grew like 13 points during the year. So he no longer was going to sit against lefties, for one thing, because he could actually hit them better. And that's what, let me see, what is this? Since the game doesn't add. Oh, you're talking about Action PC, not aging players. Yeah. I mean, you could do that. Like, as I'm doing Action PC football, the Legend Sports Universe Football League is done. I moved that to Action PC. And that aging things myself from year to year is one thing I'm going to have to kind of calculate and formulate going forward. I wish that Dave would add career mode and like career play kind of thing to Action PC. I don't know if he has a resistance to it for any reason, or just because it's hard to program. And I get that. I do. I get that a bit. But I mean, it can be done. Other games have done it. And I just think, I mean, he would, you know, Action PC is, they do their games so well. They really, really do. They do a great job with them. But I kind of feel like he's kind of missing the boat there. Because if he adds career mode into that stuff, then the fact that he has a more accurate game than Out of the Park, I think he can cut into some of Out of the Park stuff a little bit, just based on that. I see text. I don't think that's to try to do what you do. Well, I appreciate that. You know, I mean, look, and Steve knows. I mean, Steve and I both have a real passion for doing this kind of stuff. And you know, and it's fun. It's, you know, it's a cool thing, and I've referred to it frequently as, you know, this whole Legend Sports Universe thing that I do as kind of being like my sports Minecraft. Like, it's a world that I want to create that I wish could be real, of the best players ever coming together and playing in the same kind of atmosphere. Like, that's a huge thing for me, and I love that. And kind of seeing it come to life, especially when you end up with something like this. Like, it's the reason why the chats are so cool. Like, and it's not just the complimentary stuff, like people liking what I'm doing, which, you know, which I of course appreciate, but it's stuff like, you know, when you guys were talking in the chat, like Holland seems nervous and that kind of stuff. It's like, that's like bringing it to life, and that's just a really, really cool thing. And like, that's the goal of it. And it kind of, you kind of cross that line between this fictional world that I've created and how you would be watching a real life. And that's just an absolute kick for me. Yeah, exactly. Customization is the thing. Customization is the thing, and that's where Out of the Park is so good, because you can do anything you want with that game, and it's what makes the show so good too. Which is why the little things that the show does wrong drives me up the freaking wall, because they're little things that anybody who's paying attention during testing should notice. You know, and or the stadium creator. Sean, I have seen you post that 61 thing, and I'm like, this guy is going to throw a computer out the window. It's just, yeah, I don't know what is causing your struggle with them, but I'm like, that this guy, somebody's going to owe this guy a PC somewhere down the line because something's going airborne. But yeah, I don't. Out of the, and I love Out of the Park, and I worked on the game in its early stages, and then I was just out of the hobby entirely for like a decade. Um, and then I slowly got back into it a bit, but I mean, I really didn't get heavily back into this until, oops, sorry about that. I didn't get heavily back into this until COVID, really. Um, and then I had time to do stuff, and get away from them. All right, hold on a sec. First thing I want to do here, because if I hit a wrong button and I back out of this without saving, I'm going to throw my computer out the window. So let me make sure that we are saved here. Okay, I think it auto saves anyway, but I just like making sure. All right, so but yeah, as far as the rating stuff, like people are like, oh, Out of the Park isn't you have to tinker with Out of the Park a bit. And I think it's part of the advantage that I have doing things the way I do, doing rosters the way I do, is that, I have a little bit of leeway in that I don't need a guy to exactly replicate what he did. I just need it to be realistic, more than exact. And you know, that may not seem like a big thing, but it is. You know, I don't need a guy who hit 25 homers to hit between 24 and 26. But if he hits between 21 and 28, like that's cool for me. I'm okay with that. Um, a guy who's capable of a career year. Like, yes, Edmonds hit 337. Was that higher than Edmonds's, where I figured Edmonds would be? Yes, but I don't feel like if he does it for his career, then I'm going to say, all right, that kind of I missed a boat on that one a little bit, but I don't expect that that's going to happen based on what his ratings are. And career years happen all the time in baseball, um, But I feel like I hit a lot more than I miss, so thankfully for that. But I like that variation of a career season. I like something where the Expos made the playoffs in this year. We knew their pitching was going to be great, and they knew they had Harper and Dawson, but the rest of their lineup I didn't think would get it done for them. And virtually all those guys played within their expectations, but they all played to the top end of their expectations, the top end of their acceptable ranges. So now all of a sudden you get the high end of Ryan Zimmerman and the high end of Rusty Staub and the high end of Moises Alou and the high end of Jose Vidro, and then all of a sudden it's like, all right, we got a pretty good lineup here, so it just kind of it worked out for them, and the other teams in the NL East didn't get a great draw, which certainly helped them. The Braves got great pitching, but the Braves can't hit yet, and that kind of thing. But that's the fun of doing the setup the way I've done it here. But anyway, sorry, I was kind of rambling a little bit, but but just kind of giving an insight. But one of the things I will do when this is done is I'll do a bit more of a deep dive as to my whole process, just so that I love talking shop, which is cool. The World's Worst Gamer asked me, so who are you betting on to win your Worlds? Who wins Game 7? I still think I'm leaning towards the A's. I know the Giants have all the momentum right now. I think Hunter's going to come through with a good start, and I feel like Henderson and somebody in that heart of that order, somebody in that Reggie, Baker, McGuire, Fox set is going to have a is going to have a big game too. I just feel like the A's can generate the A's can generate something, and I think the Giants pitching situation, they're a little bit up against it right now. So I mean, McGinnity gave them everything he could give. Well, Hunter again. Hunter, I know you're new to watching my channel, Tex, and I appreciate you coming aboard here. Hunter didn't pitch in the division series sweep of the Angels. It was a 3-game sweep, so he never got to the mound there. The Indians upset the Red Sox, and then the Indians took a 2-1 series lead on Oakland. Hunter pitched game 4, threw a gem to get them even. Then they won game 5, they lost game 6, and then Hunter pitched game 7 and threw a gem again. So Hunter has 2 clutch starts under his belt, even though he got hammered, in game 3 of this series. So we'll see, but I think Hunter's going to give the A's a good outing. So I still think the A's win it, but at this point, it's kind of a coin flip. And with that, gentlemen, I am going to. Do you know what his record is in your league for the season, Hunter? My laptop screen just died, actually, because I didn't have it plugged in because I'm an idiot. I want to say Hunter was 14 and something. 14 and 10, low threes, like 14 and 10, 3.11 or something along that nature. Hudson was 20 and 3. And Hudson was the number 4. So Hudson was getting great pitching matchups all through the year. Jack Quinn was the number 5 starter. And Quinn won 19 games as the number 5. Again, the A's won 111 games during the regular season. And the A's are going to add Eddie Plank next year. They got him in the rookie draft. So Plank joins this rotation next season. So, I mean, the A's may win the West by 30 games next year. They won it by 28 this year. So that'll be fun to have Plank jump on board. But, I mean, the A's are going to be in this position for the foreseeable future. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, if you've got to face Waddell and Plank as your 1-2 in a short series, it's just you better have your stuff together. The Yankees are going to get some help because the Yankees get Whitey Ford, so that gives them a good starter to pair with Guidry. I mean, the Red Sox already have a terrific rotation. I don't think the Red Sox are adding a big pitcher next year. They add Dwight Evans. And they add, I think Kevin Youkilis, comes on board for them. So not a great draft, but Evans is one of my favorite non-Met players of all time anyway. And we mentioned the A's additions. So, I mean, people are going to have a hard time breaking through that quartet atop the American League. The American League was so top heavy than bottom heavy. There was a big split between the best teams in the American League and the worst. And in the National League, there was a bit more parity beyond the Giants. When the Giants won 109, nobody else won 100 in the NL. The Cardinals ended up with 99. The Dodgers won 92 or 93. And then there's a whole logjam of people in like the mid to high 80s. The Expos who won the East, the Mets, the Braves, the Pirates were all in that mid to high 80s number. Beatles, Pirates really put forth a really good season considering that they did not have a great draw at all. So the Pirates, the Pirates are going to have to hope that when trades and free agencies start rolling in this league, and they will eventually, the Pirates are going to have to feature some pitching. they're going to have to go sign some free agent pitchers, but you're still a few years from free agency really kicking in. Everybody has their contract assigned to the number of years that they played for the franchise up until 10. 10 is the max contract you can give. So you can't give, I can't give, Cal Ripken a 20-year contract. But, he'll start off with a 10-year kind of deal. And with that, guys, we're going to call it a night. It's 20 after 1 here in New York. And that was a tiring broadcast. But I really appreciate everybody checking in here and following along. Have had an absolute blast doing all of this. And seeing the chat buzzing is really, really cool. So I greatly appreciate all of that. Tex, thank you for jumping on, man. And yes, I will do that video eventually. And that broadcast was a lot of fun. I may have to. That video I mentioned earlier, I was going to do it during your chat, Beatles, about doing the top 5 games of the postseason. I may be closing in on being able to put together a top 10 because the big games of this, there have been a lot of really fun games in this playoff. I'm very, very fortunate with that. So until tomorrow, again, broadcast tomorrow will probably be early afternoon, sometime between like 12 and 1 tomorrow, game 7. And obviously, if you can't watch during the day, I won't post any spoilers anywhere. You can watch it tomorrow evening. Enjoy your night, guys. Be good to each other, and we'll talk soon.